What's that?
And that was without even a single drop of rum.
This, my friend, is a pirate. Why don't you just pull up a stool and have a drink with it? It comes in pints. I can get you one. You've had a whole half already.
Good night and party on!
Party on, Wayne!
Party on, Garth.
All right. Hello and welcome to another week of After Work Beers. And of course, I'm going to start off by opening my own. I've been getting a lot of stuff from Pizza Port lately. Got some flack from Devin, Salmon Sticks, Salmon Outdoors. You may have seen him on the Monday streams lately. That for a couple weeks here, I was drinking the same beer, mostly because the closest liquor store on the way home from work always had that same Deftones collaboration beer. But also Pizza Port, another local San Diego brewery. Summer Moments IPA from Pizza Port Brewing Company. They are all over San Diego County, but their most notable location is down by the beach, of course. But San Diego is actually a very large area. Like you can drive all the way probably from the southern border, pretty much down to Mexico, all the way up to the most northern edge of San Diego County, and it's about two hours or so end to end. Lots of breweries, lots of beaches. I don't particularly care for the beach. That's why I'm ready to move somewhere in the mountains. But anyways, cheers to you all for being here. And I wonder, is that? Oh, my background shows up on my koozie because the writing is green. It's funny. Here I was making sure I didn't wear a shirt with anything green on it, and here I got you can kind of see the pub pops up there on the green writing just a little bit. Good stuff. Good stuff. We've already got, let's see, which one do I want? We've already got Lady Marine in the chat. Late and lame. Make sure to go and downvote and unsubscribe from the channel. And of course, Jacob Ironside, thank you so much for popping in here, brother. Always good to see you. I did see that I got a message from you. It was kind of, rushing, like get home, get ready for the stream, whatever. So yeah, I'll take a look at your message and hopefully we can make something happen. Looking forward to finally getting on your channel one of these days. The planets align and everything works. But yeah, when we're done here, I'll definitely take a look at it. And newcomer, new subscriber, the Wayfarer Project, greetings from Florida. Greetings to you as well. Thanks for popping in here. So Wednesdays is I just pop on here by myself. I just got off work. I open a beer and I just kind of pull up whatever articles I either didn't talk about on Monday, or in this case, it seems like it's been kind of a slow week for things that I find interesting. I was just kind of finding some stuff to talk about. Today, very much just no format, chill stream. Mondays, I usually have some panel members, but yep, you're stuck with me on Wednesdays. And actually, let's see if I can find it. Roman sent me something earlier. The link he sent me wouldn't open. So I'll see if I can find this. But this is about the Jane's Addiction thing we talked about on Monday. So on Monday, we talked quite extensively about the onstage brawl during the Jane's Addiction reunion tour between singer Perry Farrell and guitarist Dave Navarro. And Roman sent me something earlier. The link he sent me would not open, so I'm trying to see if I can find the same article. Let's just pull up let me look at it again. Maybe I can just Google what his source was that he sent me. Boomers and technology. It's Cron, don't open. What? Well, next time I communicate with those two fine folks, I'll have to say thank you for sending you my way. It's always glad to have newcomers, new subscribers. Every little bit helps getting just inching my way closer to 1,000 subs. Maybe it'll happen someday, maybe not. And there he is, Devin, Summon Outdoors, a friendly HVAC guide to the north. He will fix your air conditioner. He will take cool pictures of birds, and he'll tell you some really good or bad, depending on your perspective, dad jokes. He's just out there living the dream. All right. Oh, here we go. Nope, still didn't open. So the link Roman sent me did not open, but it's from alternativenation.net. Let's try that. Alternative Nation. Typing is hard. Try this. And of course, there's stuff about Lincoln Park. I was going to do another video about Lincoln Park, but I kind of got tired of talking about it. I just kind of don't care anymore. And you just get attacked by the fans. For whatever reason, it's like Lincoln Park with their new singer have reached this like Taylor Swift level of stardom where you're not allowed to not like the new singer or not like the band. So, yeah, it's kind of tired of it. This is nowhere. Nope, it's not. Nothing's coming up. So let's try this one. Let's just see what we come up with. No format, unscripted, unhinged. We're just hanging out. And if any of y'all are drinking out there, if you got a beer or any other kind of beverage, even if it's non-alcoholic, I welcome sober viewers as well. Let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. Jane's Addiction guitarist Dave Navarro posts apology to opening acts after tour cancellation following an onstage attack by singer Perry Farrell. Navarro asked his heroes in Love and Rockets and the Crawlers for forgiveness for the terrible outcome. I don't think this is what Roman sent me, though. Personally apologize, yada, yada, yada. We've already talked about all of that. That's been covered. So the headline on what Roman sent me said something along the lines of like Dave Navarro seemed to suggest that like this is officially the end for Jane's Addiction. Like no more reunions, no more nothing. But I can't seem to find that article anywhere. The link he sent me doesn't work. I went to the website of said source. It doesn't work. So maybe they took it down. I don't know. Yeah, these are all the statements we already talked about on Monday. I don't really need to rehash it all. And Farrell's wife got involved. Okay, so nothing new. I don't know if there's actually anything new with that. So we'll move on from that. But reunion that apparently I guess was like 15 years in the making. Only made it about, let's see, May, June, July, August, September, about 4 months. And I guess apparently Perry Farrell and Dave Navarro getting into fights on stage is not new. So yeah, I wonder, I really wonder when Oasis finally hits the road, I think it's next year, how far the Gallagher boys will make it before similar things start happening. Because I'd like to believe that as those two being brothers, that they have reached a point to where they are back on speaking terms and they are friendly and realize like, you know, you're family and we love each other, or whatever. But a big part of my brain is saying they just want the paycheck. I don't know. Time will tell, but we'll see if they actually make it through the whole tour. Oh, Lady Marina, were you trying to type it's porn, don't open? You got a spell check. Or maybe I'm a little bit dyslexic and it finally clicked. I finally got it. I don't know. So let's talk about Darius Rucker. Here we don't discriminate. We talk about artists from all various different genres as long as it's not something that I absolutely hate. I'm not the world's biggest country fan, especially not so much Darius. I mean, I liked, Hootie and the Blowfish and their stuff from the 90s. His country stuff now, it's a little auto-tune pop for me, but hey, whatever. He's a notable figure. If you remember earlier this year, he was arrested on a possession charge, and they never really quite said what. It was sort of like a mysterious possession, but like what? I'm like, I don't know which states marijuana is not legal in anymore. I live in California, so maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop on that. So, I mean, they say possession. I'm like, it can't be weed, you know. Yeah, Wayfair, I agree. But that's why I say, like, I like people like Coulter Wall, Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson, you know, some of these guys that are just kind of going back to throwing the whole band in the studio and recording it raw. This stuff where it's like more, there's like backbeats and rapping and auto tune, whatever, like, oh, get out of here. But there are some newer like within the last decade country artists that I do like. Other than that, it's all the old outlaw stuff. But you'll find over time on my channel that I am all over the map musically. I came up during the great nu metal movement in the early 2000s. Those were my high school years. But then also Tool has been a favorite band of mine for a very, very long time. So it's kind of unpredictable. So Darius Rucker likely wants to forget all about his arrest on drug possession charges, and if he completes the terms of his sentence, he can. Last week, the singer pleaded no contest to a charge of simple possession of a controlled substance. That could mean a lot of things. Rucker was arrested in February of 2024, but the traffic stop that led to charges took place in February 2023. Not supposed to say. Oh, okay. Well, I think I figured out what you're trying to say. We'll see. It was from a traffic stop in February of 2023, so a full year apart. Rucker was caught with 14 purple pills, a THC pen, and a small marijuana joint during a traffic stop in Williamson County, Tennessee. Okay, yeah, that stuff's probably all illegal in Tennessee, if I had to guess. The pills are identified as psilocin. I'm saying that right? I'm not sure. An ingredient in magic mushrooms, but in a pill form? Man, what will they think of next? Initially, Rucker was hit with 2 misdemeanor possession charges plus a driving with expired tags charge. They just had to throw that on top there, didn't they? Expired tags. But, you know, if they are expired, they're expired. And WSMV TV in Nashville shares that 1 possession charge and the driving with expired tags charge were dismissed. By pleading no contest, Rucker agrees to waive his right for trial and accept a sentence of 11 months and 29 days probation. It's worded kind of weird. I don't know if it means that he's going to, like, I'm sure he's not going to do jail time, but just, you know, is it like 11 months in prison and then 29 days probation, or literally just a day short of 12 months of probation? And what does that even mean, probation? Like, can he still, is it like, oh, you can't cross state lines, or you can't, I mean, I don't know. If he completes the probation, the charges will be expunged. Why was Darius Rucker arrested? Rucker was pulled over by a Franklin Police Department officer for a traffic violation, and the officer smelled marijuana from the car. Rucker admitted he'd smoked weed in that vehicle, but not that night of February 19th, 2023. The search produced the pills and blunt. Okay, hold on a second. Smelled weed, admitted to it, not that night, whatever. That led to a search of the vehicle. I mean, okay, I can maybe kind of wrap my brain around like the probable cause of like, oh, we smell marijuana and whether it's legal in that state or not. And even in California, it's not legal to just smoke out in public. Like, you're not supposed to be just like walking down the sidewalk or driving your car smoking. It's like, but that led to a vehicle search. That is interesting. The search produced pills, pen, and blunt. Rucker said his girlfriend at the time gave him the pills and he didn't know what they were. The cop let him go. Hey, it's just me. If a woman gives you some pills, you should probably know what they are. Especially if it's just a girlfriend. Like, this isn't even like, a wife, we've been married for 20 years or something. Like, really? You're just going to be like, oh, okay, here, I'll take these pills. I don't know where they are. Like, no. That's not smart. So at that traffic stop in 2023, the cop let him go. Then Rucker goes on to say, quote, "A year later, I got a phone call from a buddy that said, 'I think I just saw an arrest warrant for you.'" And there's his mugshot. So he turned himself in. Someone paid the $10,500 bond to get him free. He figured someone was trying to make an example out of him, and they did. The arrest came amid a flurry of country music encounters with police. Chris Young was arrested in January with all charges being dropped soon after. Morgan Wallen was arrested in April with felony charges still active. I would say I think Morgan Wallen is like the epitome of the auto-tune backbeat country right now. As a musician myself, who I spend my weekends, sometimes weekday evenings, out and about playing cover songs and whatnot, I can't tell you how often people tell me I need to learn Morgan Wallen songs, and I listen to them and I'm like, well, he has a backbeat and he's rapping, so first of all, I can't do that. Second of all, I'm not doing that. That's not country. But he's got a mullet and a mustache and wears a trucker hat and boots, so he must be country, right? I don't think that guy could carry a tune if his life depended on it. It's so much auto-tune, so much rapping, Anyways, we're not here to trash on Morgan Wallen. People like different styles of music, to each their own. I like authentic music that doesn't have a ton of studio magic put on it. Musical taste beliefs. So after Tuesday, September 10th court hearing, Rucker's lawyer shared the following statement. On behalf of Darius, we want to thank the Honorable Judge Tom Taylor and the District Attorney's Office for the time and care taken in considering the details of this case and its final disposition. In addition, we want to thank and commend the members of the Franklin Police Department and the Williamson County Sheriff's Department for the respectful and professional manner in which they treated Darius during the process. Darius looks forward to working through the probationary period and putting this all behind him. Celebrity mugshots, the best and the worst. I didn't even intend to pull this up, but here we go. There's Kid Rock. I feel like it pretty much always looks like that, though. Like that's nothing new. Agreed. Yes. Salmon Outdoors and I have had many conversations about some of the artists I've already named off: Coulter Wall, Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson. Some of these guys that they're going back to just having that raw, bare bones, like the same kind of thing. Like you could get all the instruments and set them all up on your front porch and just be jamming on your front porch. Everything mostly acoustic and unplugged. People that they go in the studio, they hit record and they get a song. But then you got some of these guys that they got to go and put all the studio magic on it and touch it all up. But then here's the problem: they say, "Oh, well, the truth will come out when people go see them live." It's like, well, no, like when they go play live, they got all the backing tracks. They might even have live auto-tune. They might be lip syncing. Like these people might not even really be performing live anymore. You just never really know anymore. So I didn't even intend to find this, but it's at the bottom of the article, and this is just funny. So you got Kid Rock's mugshot. What did he get arrested for? After a fight at a Waffle House. That's amazing. Willie Nelson. I'm going to guess drug possession, right? You guessed it, possession. At the age of 77, he was stopped in his tour bus, arrested for 6 ounces of weed. I wonder where they were. Morgan Wallen and his stupid mullet. Was arrested in 2020 when he was kicked out of Kid Rock's bar for being intoxicated. That's kind of funny. The classic Man in Black. Now, this picture is actually a bit of a joke for the guards when Cash performed at Folsom Prison, but Cash found himself in a mugshot at other times, including in 1965 when he was arrested in Starkville for trespassing to pick flowers. Oh, that's hilarious. So this was a joke when he performed at the prison, but then one of the times he was arrested was just to pick flowers. Tiger Woods. I don't care about Tiger Woods. DUI, whatever. Heather Locklear, don't care. Who is that? Larry King. Really don't care about Bruno Mars. Vanilla Ice. What did Vanilla Ice do? Oh, man. 2015 in Florida for burglary charges. All the weird stuff happens in Florida. Isn't that right, Wayfair? Bill Cosby. We know what Bill Cosby did. Shia LaBeouf, public intoxication. Robert Downey Jr. did a lot of bad things. Lots of bad things. All right. So that's enough fun there. Gotta go back to Johnny Cash to get good mugshot. Yeah, I'm sure there's other ones out there. It was just funny that on that one they said that particular picture was sort of a joke, and that one of the other times he was arrested for trespassing and flowers. But no, I know he definitely had his run-ins with the law over the years, especially in his younger years. So here, this actually would have been a funny one to talk about on Monday because Roman, so one of my regular panel members on Mondays is my very good friend Roman of the Empire, but he's a bit grumpy and he has some opinions on things, and he absolutely hates Blink-182. And admittedly enough, I'm not their biggest fan in the whole wide world, but because they are from my hometown, there's that little bit of like, a little, pop punk band from hometown made it to worldwide success, which I think is pretty cool. And especially Mark Hoppus specifically. I mean, the dude survived cancer. And I know that's one of those things where throughout different surgeries and operations and treatment and everything, it's something that like it's probably always in danger of coming back, more or less. So, and also, I apologize. I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a very, very mild cold or bug or something. For the most part, I feel okay, but it's just like that little bit of congestion that's just nagging at me. That and just completely zapping any energy I have. But yeah, if I'm like sniffling into the microphone super loud, I apologize. But it's kind of stuffed up. But yeah, so him surviving cancer and then kind of reuniting with Tom DeLonge, I do still find a very heartwarming story, because they've sort of had two different hiatuses where they went on hiatus, they sort of split up. Then at one point they actually brought in Matt Skiba from the Alkaline Trio to replace Tom. They released 2 albums with him and toured with them, but then Tom came back. First time they went on their hiatus and came back was Travis Barker was in like a major plane crash and was lucky to be alive, and so that kind of brought them back together. Like, hey, one of us almost died. Like, maybe we should just, put the band aside and just remember that, we're friends. And so then that brought the band back. Then, okay, Tom leaves again, or he was fired. There's, back and forth. Then Mark Hoppus gets cancer, goes through all his treatments and surgeries and everything, comes back, beat cancer. Same thing. Let's just all get in the room and just hang out. Forget the band. Let's just be friends. And the band came back. Now, apparently, he's going to release a book. He's put out his memoir. Mark Hoppus released Tell All Memoir, saying, quote, "Shit gets dark." That's not the name of the book. It says, "We'll throw it in at no extra cost. Anxiety, depression, band breakups, loss of self, and, of course, everyone's favorite, cancer." He joked about his book, Fahrenheit 182. There's the title. And there he is, wearing his own band's t-shirt on stage. And is it just me, or does it look like an unusually short scale bass? I mean, obviously for the music that they're playing, he doesn't need those really high notes or anything, but just the bass guitars that he plays, the necks look unusually short. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. I'm relying on the chat to pull through on that one. I'm just gonna keep moving on. No, I do not want to subscribe to your newsletter, Rolling Stone. Mark Hoppus is looking back at his life and the Blink-182 of it all. Do people that consider themselves journalists really still try to use these bad puns? That was bad. That was really bad. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's just trying to regroup from that one. Let's try again. Mark Hoppus is looking back at his life and the Blink-182 of it all.
No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Bad puns. That's not even like a dad joke. That's just bad. In a new book, on Monday, the Rucker shared a silly infomercial-style video to announce that he'll release his memoir, Fahrenheit 182, on April 8th, 2025, saying, quote, "This book has everything. A young man born in the California desert, joins a punk rock band, goes on to conquer the world. It's got skateboarding. It's got punk rock clubs. It's got 90s music. But that's not all. But wait, there's more." He says in the funny announcement, "Pre-order now and we'll throw in at no extra cost to you anxiety, depression, band breakups, loss of self, suicidal thoughts, and ideation, and of course, everyone's favorite, cancer." Oh, is this the video? Let's see if we can just play the video. Also true. Reading Rolling Stone will give you cancer. But this is the article that popped up when I found this. Blink-182 might give you cancer too. I'm not really sure. It all happens with the blink of an eye. Or apparently a Blink-182 of an eye. So let's go ahead and watch this little fun infomercial thingy.
Welcome back, friends. Up next, we have the brand new memoir, Fahrenheit 182, written by me, Mark Hoppus. This book has everything. A young man born in the California desert joins a punk rock band and goes on to conquer the world. It's got skateboarding. It's got punk rock clubs. It's got 90s music. But that's not all. Pre-order now, and we'll throw in at no extra cost to you anxiety, depression, band breakups. They broke up again? Loss of self, suicidal thoughts and ideation, and of course, everyone's favorite, cancer. This shit gets dark. So order your copy today and make sure you don't miss out on all the small things. Oh, I forgot about that incredible anecdote that I wrote in this book. That was amazing. Wow.
All the small things. He had to throw in one more. That was something. That was really something. But you know what? I have to look this up really quick. Has anyone noticed that over the recent years, Mark Hoppus has started to look suspiciously more and more like Ed Grimley? You see what they're going for in that ad, but it didn't quite work. I mean, I get it. It's going to appeal to their fans. It was, cheesy on purpose. It's I get it. It's fine. And, again, I commend the guy for beating cancer. Seriously, in all sincerity, cheers to him for beating cancer. But yeah, as far as the band and everything else, that was pretty cheesy. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mark Hoppus, but for the last, I don't know, probably 10 years or so now, he's basically just been doing, he looks like the Martin Short character, Ed Grimley. I can't unsee that whenever I see Mark Hoppus now. Yeah, it's fun. So, what else does Rolling Stone have to say about it? Since we're already getting cancer from reading Rolling Stone, let's continue. The musician is, of course, referring to his years-long battle with large B-cell lymphoma, Blink-182's numerous breakups and reunions over the years, and his open struggles with mental health, saying, quote, "That shit gets dark. So order your copy today and make sure." Okay, we saw that. We saw the ad. Lots of advertisements, I guess that was the end of it. Nope, there's... Is this going to, try to make me subscribe to read the rest? Lots of faded text here. Anyways, all right. That was that. Man, I'm already running short on topics here. What do I have on my phone? What came up today that was interesting? I was trying to see stuff from Jacob Ironside, and I can never tell if it's a Roman of the Empire meme or if that's part of the message earlier that I haven't opened yet because it's a schedule. Let's click on over here for a minute. So one of my favorite bands, the Deftones, has recently announced some tour dates. And it's both a good thing and a bad thing because they have decided now to annually host what they have coined the Dia de los Deftones Festival, which is at Petco Park where the San Diego Padres play baseball. It's really expensive. I don't know any of the other bands on the bill. Every year, and good on them. They're bringing in other bands that people may not have been exposed to or haven't heard of, or whatever. But when a concert costs me more than $80 per ticket, I want to at least know one of the other bands on the docket. And the very first year they did it, 2018, I went. It was on the Gallagher Square side, on the backside of Petco Park. So a smaller stage, all standing room only, whatever. So you had a fair fight at being able to kind of see the stage. And then they had two other smaller stages. So when I saw the Deftones, they were great. Everything was awesome. Years following that, and then, we had the great big C word that happened in 2020 that derailed everything for a little while. Then they started putting it actually like on the main ball field, where it was like one big stage on the ball field and then standing room only. And I saw videos like days after following of the festival, and it was just like a sea of people. And I'm like, that's literally my nightmare. I'm 38 years old, almost 39. And when I go to a concert, I want a seat so that, one, in between bands, I can sit down and take a break if I want to, or even during the bands if I want to. Two, if I decide to go to the bathroom or go buy a $20 beer or something, I want to know that I can come back to my seat and not have to fight my way back through the crowds. Three, I'm only about 5'9" on a good day, so I don't really like trying to get up on my tippy toes and look around and try to fight to be able to see over the mongolith's head that's in front of me at said concert. That, of course, no matter where I stand, the tallest person in the crowd is going to stand right in front of me. Probably didn't shower since like 1999. So I love the Deftones. They come around every year, but it's this festival. And this year, okay, they opened up some of the lower seats in the ballpark. Tickets were astronomical. It was so stupid. They're so expensive. It's sold out. So, okay, people are going. Good for them. But every time they come to San Diego now, it's only going to be at that festival. It really bums me out. So now they've announced a list of tour dates. And, of course, the only one for San Diego is their festival here in November. They're going to the likes of Oregon, Washington, San Francisco. 2 nights in San Francisco. They just played in San Francisco with System of a Down, literally at like Golden Gate Park. Inglewood, that's way too close to Los Angeles. The only reason I'm going to Inglewood anytime soon is in October to see David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, but that's a bucket list item that I need to check off my list. And it was either that or a Hollywood Bowl. And it was a toss-up. That one was just cheaper, but it's still basically Los Angeles. This is the armpit of California, or at least one of. Las Vegas. It's on a Saturday. Could make that happen, maybe. Arizona, Texas, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, New York, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and Mass. Yeah, Wayfair. So that's why I initially bought the tickets to see David Gilmour, because I want to say he hasn't toured since probably 2016. And I've absolutely loved Pink Floyd since I was in high school, since the first time I heard The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon. My parents weren't really into them, so I didn't really discover their music until I got to high school, and other friends were like, here, go listen to this CD, go burn a copy of it. Yes, kids, that's back when we would burn CDs. I know it was illegal. We all did it. Everybody admit it. But from when I first heard like The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon, I was like, I love this band. And yes, David Gilmour still tours. He just put a new album out, not this past Friday, but the week before, called Luck and Strange. It's pretty good. It's pretty standard David Gilmour solo stuff, but he doesn't like to tour unless he's promoting a new album. He's also, I think, in his either late 70s or early 80s. So my guess is that sooner than later, he's either going to completely retire from touring and making music, or he's going to die. So when this tour got announced, I was like, I got to go. I got to bite the bullet, whatever it costs. I got to go see him. I'm going to be all the way back in the nosebleeds, but I gotta go. I gotta do it. So yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like my friends that I came up with, a lot of them were like, "Oh, my parents listened to the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and this and that and whatever." It's like my parents are kind of both of my parents were very different musically. I mean, I grew up with some stuff like the Beatles and kind of some like but like I didn't really hear a lot of like classic rock, like the real like rock and roll stuff growing up. So yeah, it wasn't until I got into high school and my friends were like, "Oh, you gotta check this out," like because that's what they grew up hearing, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." So kids are not cooperating. Technology, my friend, when I do this stuff. I'm using old earbuds that have like absolutely no battery life, so they die really quick, and then I try to throw the other one in, and it doesn't want to connect right away. Let's see if I have anything else I want to talk about before I get to this last one, because we're already running low. Hey. They're just different. I'm the weird one here. All right. Just yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right. Oh, I remember what I was just going to look up. So, a majority of my channel is about music. I'll talk other pop culture stuff here and there for fun, whatever. But the absolute first and foremost thing that I will always talk about is Christopher Nolan. He is by far I don't go out to the movie theater very often. I think the entertainment industry has pretty much been in the toilet for a while now for a lot of different reasons. But if there's any one director that I will almost always, not almost, but I will always go out of my way to go see his movies in theaters, it is Christopher Nolan. I mean, he's got a lot of good movies under his belt, but the ones that really put him on the map was when he directed the Dark Knight trilogy starring Christian Bale and Michael Caine. God, my brain does not work sometimes, I swear. And then obviously went on to make other great notable films such as Inception, Interstellar, and Dunkirk. And he's really made a name for himself. And so for the 10th anniversary of Interstellar, they're going to do an IMAX re-release. And at first, I thought I was like looking this up earlier. I thought they were going to do it in December, like right before or right around my birthday. But then I saw something about September 20th. I tried to look it up and I couldn't really find any solid information. This is suggesting scheduled for September 27th. The original day announced has likely been canceled. Let's see. Unfortunately, this article is from like August. So let's see if I can find a better one. Interstellar re-release 2024. That's from August. April. What the hell? Where was that? I was reading something earlier. Okay, so I have it on my phone here. It says it's literally going to be on my birthday. There's Melvin Deeply. Hey, welcome to the chat. And again, thank you for sending Wayfarer my way. I definitely appreciate the shout out there. All right, so I got something here. So if I can share it over to my device here. Okay. Technology is hard. All right. And there we go. Interstellar completes. Oh, God. You put an ad blocker on your computer and you try to get rid of ads, and then it says, we don't like your ad blocker, so you get rid of it, and then you get ads that won't frickin' close. Let's try this again, shall we? All right. Yeah, one more. Interstellar completes 10 years. Makers postpone theatrical re-release date. Sci-fi epic Interstellar originally released in theaters on November 5th, 2014, and had received 5 Oscar nominations and ended up winning for the best visual effects. Red Bull, it's all I drink, the Wayfarer Project. Yes. Well, I'm currently drinking beer, but cheers to whatever you're drinking. Red Bull, water, could be whatever. Is that I welcome sober viewers as well. We're just hanging out. All right, so let's see what they have planned for the Interstellar theatrical re-release. I saw this when it initially came out twice. Interstellar re-release. Renowned director Christopher Nolan's Interstellar will soon complete the 10th year of its release. On its 10th anniversary, the makers are planning to re-release the movie on the silver screen. Though also, if you know anything about Christopher Nolan, he early on, so when he started doing the Batman movies, he would film certain sequences completely all in IMAX. And as time has gone on and he's gotten, more pull in the industry, more money, more resources, a majority of his movies in recent years have been filmed completely on IMAX cameras and IMAX film. So I always highly, highly recommend to the most introverted, most hermit-like person, if you really don't like going out in public, you really don't like going to the movie theaters, but you like Christopher Nolan movies, do yourself a favor and at least see his movies on the big screen in IMAX. Like, that is how they are meant to be enjoyed. They're great either way. The storytelling, his use of practical effects, minimal use of CGI. He's just a great filmmaker all around, but see his movies in IMAX. It is so worth it. So they will be doing a re-release on the silver screen. According to a Variety report, the movie was earlier scheduled to hit theaters on September 27th, 2024, but now has been delayed by over 2 months and will release December 6th, my birthday. Happy birthday to me. The re-release has been postponed to align with the home entertainment relaunch. And that's actually a little bit closer to I guess it's kind of right in the middle if it came out November 15th. The movie will now be released on December 6th. It will be shown in 70mm IMAX print and digital screen. This theatrical release date will align with the home entertainment relaunch. Warner Brothers Pictures co-produced the movie, which is working with Paramount on the revival. Interstellar's 10th anniversary. A mix of standard digital prints of Nolan preferred IMAX 70mm format is going to be used, and it is good for enthusiasts who don't want to miss out on the next Oppenheimer-style experience. Let's see. What do we got over here? Cost is the biggest barrier to going to the cinemas these days. That is fair, and that's why, honestly, I go very, very rarely. Typically once a year or less if there's a Christopher Nolan movie coming out. I can remember not that long ago that I would go to the movies quite frequently when Marvel was still good and you wanted to see the latest Marvel movie or whatever. Like, there was a lot of good stuff coming out. Now it's like, I feel like everything's such a dumpster fire. And then, as Wayfarer Project is pointing out, the cost, it's like, it's more of a rare treat, which is actually kind of funny. That's actually, Christopher Nolan talks a lot about that, of why he has this like reverence for, because he's British, the cinema. When he was a child growing up, going to the movies was like it was like a big deal. It wasn't just something that on a Saturday you and your friends would just flippantly decide like, let's go see the new Jurassic World movie or whatever. Like, it was a big deal. Like, people would get dressed up. You would go, you would get your tickets, you would get your snacks, you would whatever, you'd get your seat, and you would enjoy the movie. It was an experience. So him as a child, he remembered this being an experience. It wasn't something that you were just like, oh, I'm bored, let's go see a movie. So he wants to create an experience that makes people want to go to the theater and not just, let's just go. It's whatever. It's like, no, it's an experience. And I know it sounds very pretentious, but it really is, because so many movie studios now are just cranking out movies where it's just like, okay, put them in front of a green screen, CGI, go. Like, I watch all the behind the scenes stuff on all of his movies when they come out. And if he can at all possibly build a set piece or a prop or whatever, he physically builds it before resorting to CGI. Christopher Nolan does not like using special effects or CGI if he can help it. I appreciate that. About Interstellar. Interstellar premiered for the first time November 5th, 2014, and garnered $731 million at the global box office. The movie featured Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, and Matt Damon in pivotal roles. The movie was set in the first dystopian future where a bunch of astronauts must travel to the other end of the universe to find a new home for humanity. This movie has been nominated for 5 Oscars and 1 for the best visual effects. And I guess that is it for that article. Yeah, so I wonder though, like, is it going to be like a one-day only thing? Because I can see how that could definitely be difficult to get into if it's just one day. Hopefully, maybe it'll at least be like maybe the whole weekend. Let's see here, what else do we got? It does look like we have a handful of people watching over on Twitter. Hello to my Twitter watchers as well. If you're in there, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know you guys are alive. Also, if you are watching on Twitter and you're not already subscribed to the channel, please take a second to click the link in that description there. Hop on over here to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment in the chat, and when you ring that bell for notifications, set it to all so you'll get notified every time I go live or post videos, which eventually I will get back to. Eventually. Haven't done in a while, but there's only so many hours in the day. But speaking of the cinema, I have not seen this. I don't even know if I will watch it when it comes out on streaming. But no shocker, at the end of the theatrical run of the Crow remake, it did not do well. I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, come on. Remake where, and you know, I'm not talking trash on Bill Skarsgård. I think he's a very talented actor. I thought he was absolutely terrifying as Pennywise in the new renditions of the It movies. Those movies had a lot of problems, but Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, as like, you know, the monster, was brilliant. Very curious to see how the Nosferatu movie fares with him as Count Orlok as well. But the Crow remake did not do well. Let's continue. Get out of here, advertisement. It's like the weird haircut, the weird facial tattoos, the weird makeup, the everything. And I'm like, all right. As a very heavily tattooed individual myself, all the way down to my hands, the facial thing, I have gripes with face tattoos, and I blame like the likes of Post Malone and some of these other people coming out now that have made it more normal. When I'm out and about and I see people that, you know, they may have like a couple of little random tattoos on their arms here and there, and like some on their hands, and all of a sudden they got like facial tattoos. It's like, okay, maybe I'm kind of old school, maybe I'm being kind of judgy, whatever, but it's like, I feel like that's something you do once you've run out of space. You fill up your arms, you fill up your legs, you tattoo the rest of your body, and then it's like, I got a good idea. I'm going to tattoo my neck and my face and my head and whatever. But like, it's not something you do when you just have like, oh, like one here and one here and one here. Now I'm going to do my face. Like, so this whole aesthetic, this whole look, just right away just gave me like the Jared Leto Joker vibes, which is not good. Not good. I have not seen I already said, I have not seen the movie. When it's available on streaming, I might watch it. I'll probably fall asleep. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Bill Skarsgård's The Crow, a remake of the 1994 movie of the same name, has completed its theatrical run less than a month after its release. Oh, say it ain't so. Oh, where'd it go? Lost it. There we go. Melvin Deeply says, I'm very worried about Nosferatu. I thought the trailer looked generic, like a cross between the Dark Shadows and Harry Potter trailers. Yeah. I'm still, I mean, it's still a couple months out. It comes out in December, right? I think. So they'll probably drop at least one more trailer before the final, whatever. I'm a little more optimistic for that one because I was reading stuff about how even when Skarsgård was doing interviews to pump up The Crow, people were coming out and saying it's like he was like noticeably. I think he actually said like he was disappointed with how they edited the ending. He didn't like how when he saw the final cut, he was disappointed. He didn't like what they did with it and how they edited the footage. And the person doing the interview said, "Oh, well, let's talk about your other upcoming movie, Nosferatu." And said you could like visibly see him like light up, like he was more excited about that one. So even this one, I feel like Skarsgård signed on and he did it. And then maybe he got into it and was kind of like, "Oh crap, what did I get into?" But it's still sort of like, "All right, whatever. I'll film the movie. I'll do it." But Nosferatu, he seemed more excited about. So time will tell. Like I said, I think they'll probably drop at least one more trailer before the final release date, and we'll see. But I'm interested. It's still left to be said if I'll see it in the theaters or not. But it's literally 100 years after the original black and white silent version, which I think is kind of an interesting factoid of being like, wow, like they're literally 100 years apart where the original was silent. Have you seen... We're getting an Australian version of the... Yeah, honestly, like I never watched The Office. I wasn't a fan. I had when... In like The Office's heyday, when it was at its absolute peak, I had a bunch of friends that were super into it. Like they would literally have watch parties where we'd get together and they would watch, Community and then The Office and whatever and stuff. And I think, okay, I'm not really into the show, but like I'll hang out for the social aspect. Yay, trying to be social. Big mistake. I'd be sitting in a room with a dozen other Office fans, and there'd be a joke, and everyone is like holding their sides and like rolling around on the ground and laughing hysterically, and I'm just sitting there thinking, did I miss something? So to each their own. Hey, whatever. I never got into The Office. I couldn't. It didn't do anything for me. But yeah, now an Australian version. It was already a spin-off or a remake of a British show, which British humor is next level. I'm talking Monty Python, like that. Okay, so they took a British show and they made an American version. Now we're getting an Australian version. Hey, whatever. It's, oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Oh, God. Woo! Oh, boy. That does not shock me one bit. That does not surprise me at all. You're finally done at work. Oh man, you're really like putting in the extra hours today, Devin. Good for you. You deserve a beer or 6 on me. I think I had heard something about the Australian Office thing, but it's not really on my radar because I just don't care. So only less than a month after its release, the Crow remake has I'll Venmo you. All right, can you take American dollars on Venmo though? Sorry there, bud. There are about 10 versions of The Office in different countries. I think most flopped. Yeah, I can definitely see that too. That makes sense. So, a new big screen adaptation of the 1989 comic book series by James O'Barr, The Crow, stars Skarsgård as Eric Draven, a rocker who, along with his girlfriend Shelley, FKA Twigs, her name just bothers me so much, are the victims of a brutal murder the night before they were to be married. A year later, Draven rises from the grave as a supernatural avenger, looking for payback on those who were responsible for his and Shelley's death. Loonies, right? It's loonies. Monopoly money. Yeah. Yeah, it will convert. Yeah. Brandon Lee originated the role in the 1994 film, but died during the production of the film after an accidental shooting involving a prop gun. He was 28. We don't need to get into conspiracy theories here, but I think there's a lot of us sitting here that are familiar with the story of Brandon Lee's death, that an accidental shooting involving a prop gun. I don't think it was an accident, but I also don't know what motive people would have possibly had for doing that, but the facts just don't add up. Tragic nonetheless. They, literally died during the production of the film. They never should have made any sequels. That's definitely, I have not watched any of them, but there were like sequels and then a TV series and stuff. Like, it should have just, hey, like, what happened was bad enough. Let's let this one be a tribute to Brandon Lee and just let it lie for a while. Ah! Woo! Yeah, that story got real quiet real fast. Like, he's like still trying to blame the armor and stuff. It's like, no, like, you, at the end of the day, you were a producer on that film. Like, you're still liable. These are people that you hired that couldn't do their job. I have a bunch of loonies and stuff. Well, apparently you can send them to Devin as beer money, because he still lives in Looney Town up there in Canada. Yeah, there, bud. He's behind the grassy knoll. Oh boy. Oh golly. Gee golly willikers. So The Crow debuted in 2,752 North American venues on August 23rd, ended its theatrical run on September 12th. The gross of $9,528 from 297 locations. Those numbers seem way off. During its domestic run, The Crow grossed nearly $9.3 million domestically and $6.2 million internationally, for a worldwide tally of $15.5 million. According to Variety, The Crow had a $50 million production budget before prints and advertising. Oof. Oh boy. Oh, if you're the accountant for that production company, that hurts. Let's go back. Worldwide tally of $15.5 million for a $50 million production budget before prints and advertising. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. But we saw this coming, right? We saw this coming. It did not look good from the first trailer. And don't get me wrong. When they first announced this, when they first put it out there, okay, Bill Skarsgård is going to star in the Crow reboot, remake, whatever. Like, you have a mix of emotions of like, it doesn't need to be remade, leave it alone. But Bill Skarsgård is a pretty terrific character actor. I will give him, credit where credit's due. He's a good character actor. So I was like, let's see how it goes. As soon as I saw the first trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be a turd. That very first trailer, I'm like, this is awful. I don't like the way they made him look, which not his fault as the actor. That's the production, the director, the writers, whatever. Like, just the look alone. Like, I watched the trailer and I was like, this is going to flop. This is going to be bad. Who approved this? Like, Jacob Ironside says, I see the original Crow movie is almost a tombstone. It was great. Leave it alone. Don't touch. Don't remake. Another character for the crew. I agree. I mean, for the most part, I agree. I get that this is based off of a graphic novel. So it's like, who's to say that somebody else can't come along and make another new movie or something? The unfortunate death of Brandon Lee, again, is very tragic. Obviously, it's very, it's horrible. There's no other way to say it. It's horrible. To say that they can never remake or never make another movie based on this graphic novel because of that is, a lot of time has passed. But this was bad. This was just like very Mickey Mouse, very thrown together. Like, we'll just make a story. We'll just, there you go. The trailer alone, like, it did not look good. I honestly don't know if I will ever actually watch this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So that is a massive, massive loss. That's embarrassing at that point. Crow made its digital streaming debut. It's already on streaming. So here you go, guys. You can watch it. We can all watch it now. It made its digital streaming debut via premium video on demand. Oh, that means you still have to rent it. Wait until it's free. It'll be on like Paramount or Max or something in like a week. Crow made its digital streaming debut via premium video on demand, which means you have to pay for it to rent it. September 13th, Friday the 13th. Woo! The day after the film ended its theatrical run. That is so bad. When has a movie ever gone to like any form of home release like the day after? And I'm not talking during COVID times. I just got shadow banned for saying the COVID word, but when theaters were deciding, are we going to do theatrical? Are we going to do straight to streaming? Whatever. Discount the last 4 years. When is the movie ever like immediately like, okay, pull it out of the theater, go to home release? That's just, oh, that's embarrassing. We're still the 7 Seas, but it's not even worth that. No, not at all. And just that, like this again, it's like the Jared Leto Joker without the white face paint and the green hair. It's not good. It does not look good. And it's not his fault. Again, I think he's a great actor. I'm still curious to see. I know Melvin was saying he's still also worried about Nosferatu. I'm optimistically curious to see how the final trailers of Nosferatu come out. But this is bad. And I wonder if he signed on for it and then like saw what he got into and was like, oh crap, I'm already under contract. And that happened to a Disney movie recently. Yeah, there were. And again, I'm trying to think back to like a lot of times they still try to blame COVID for like people not going to the movie theaters anymore and stuff. There were some movies where it was like they would do a simultaneous, like Scarlett Johansson got into a lawsuit with Disney over the release of the Black Widow movie, which was a turd anyways. That movie was dead on arrival to begin with, but when she originally negotiated her contract, she negotiated a portion of the box office sales. But when it came out, it was still COVID times. I'm so shadow banned for saying that word now. I still think you're not allowed to say that word on YouTube, but I don't really know. I don't care anymore. They released it in theaters, but on Disney Plus at the same time. And it was the thing where you had to like pay $20 to like rent it on Disney Plus. But you think if you got a family of like 4 or 5 people and a movie ticket is about 15 to 20 bucks a pop, you can just pay $20 and the whole family can sit there and watch it. More people are going to stay home and just rent it and watch it. So she sued them over the fact that that was not in the original contract, blah, blah, blah. They settled out of court. Haven't gone to the movies in a while because shite is expensive and that's not a priority. Yeah, everything sucks. Everything sucks and everything's expensive. Like I said, like Christopher Nolan is like at the top of one of the only directors that I will make a point to go see his movies in theaters. Otherwise, I'm like, I'll wait for streaming. Actors have to take jobs to keep working, and they don't have a lot of quality opportunities anymore. That is a really good point. That really is, because as much as I keep sitting here saying I think Bill Skarsgård is a great actor, I can't name a lot of other things that he's been in. I see him pop up here and there, but he's not like Oscar Isaac, where somehow or other he's getting thrown into like every project that every movie studio puts out because he's probably on the right side of their agenda, along with Pedro Pascal. But that's neither here nor there. The original Nosferatu was made 102 years ago. Thank you, Melvin. I was off by a couple of years. I just remember seeing that it was like 100-ish, but yeah, I couldn't remember if it was like exactly 100 or, but yeah, thank you for that. It's definitely not too soon to have a remake, but it needs to be great. Average won't cut it. I hope it's good. Yeah. Like I said, I'm hoping for the best. We'll see what happens when the final trailer drops, because I believe it comes out in December. So we're probably guaranteed at least one more trailer. We'll see what happens. But I'll remain somewhat optimistic until we see another trailer, and then I'll decide if I'm going to pay money or wait for streaming. There hasn't been anything really worth watching. No, there really hasn't. I did go see Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters twice. And I know it's Marvel, it's Disney, it's whatever, but I mean, it was pretty awesome. I know a lot of people didn't like it for a lot of reasons, and I understand it. Everyone's got their different opinions and stuff. And I did just go see the Beetlejuice sequel, which I kind of regret, but is what it is. It's so Lady Marine, to your point, I would not discourage you necessarily from going to see Beetlejuice. I saw it. I didn't hate it. I wasn't necessarily like mad that I saw it, but I just feel like it was unnecessary. It's a movie that just didn't really need to be made. There's more than one awkwardly long musical numbers that just like it goes on too long, and you're just sitting there going, "Why is this song lasting for so long?" It's very strange, very strange and unusual. But I don't know. It's like it's one where I almost kind of wish I had just waited until it was on streaming. But yeah. So the Crow remake was met with intense criticism. You don't say. Directed by Rupert Sanders, the Crow remake was blasted by Rotten Tomatoes critics upon its August 23rd release. Collectively, RT critics gave The Crow a 23% rotten rating based on 129 reviews. Critics, however, weren't the only people speaking out against The Crow. Alex Proyas, the director of the 1994 version of the James O'Barr tale, wrote in a Facebook post in March that he was against the remake, saying, quote, "I really don't get any joy from seeing negativity about any fellow filmmaker's work, and I'm certain the cast and crew really had all good intentions, as we all do on any film." He continues, "So it pains me to say any more on this topic, but I think the fans' response speaks volumes. This is not just a movie. Brandon Lee died making it, and it was finished as a testament to his lost brilliance and tragic loss. It is his legacy. That's how it should remain." A month before Proyas posted his feelings about the remake, director of the 2024 version of the film, Rupert Sanders, told Vanity Fair that Lee was on his mind during production. Oh, he was on his mind. Thank God he was thinking about him while he was making it. "Brandon was an original voice, and I think he will always be synonymous with The Crow, and I hope he's proud of what we've done and how we've brought the story back again." Woo! Well, that's that. Are you saying that I am both strange and unusual, Lady Marine? Yeah. So, there you have it. The Crow failed.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, yes, and yep, that's fair. I will accept all of that. But you guys keep tuning in, so I've got to be doing something right. And
And that was without even a single drop of rum.
just beer. I still think it's funny that it's. Wait, there we go. The background is showing up on my koozie. That's green screen for you. So anyways, we have exceeded our hour mark. I managed to make it. I managed to ramble just long enough to keep you all interested for an hour and 8 minutes and 38 seconds as of me saying this. So thank you guys all so much for joining me. I don't have a panel tonight. As always, we have Lady Marine, Salmon Outdoors, Melvin Deeply jumping in here, the Wayfarer Project. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for subscribing and joining. Jacob Ironside, I'll be talking with you shortly once I finally check my phone and get caught up on my comms for the day. And I believe that is it for the day. My good old childhood friend Kyle Wallingford popped in just long enough to tell us that reading Rolling Stone gives you cancer, and I can't disagree with him, but known him since we were just wee lads. Thanks for popping in. If you're still here, hello again. So, yeah, after work beers. Mellow, unscripted chill stream with no agenda, no plan, no nothing. Just hanging out. I will be back for my usual late to the party news on Monday at 5 o'clock in the evening, Pacific Standard Time, California time, where I will have Stallman Outdoors as well as Roman of the Empire and Blair to Blair, my usual cast of also strange and unusual characters, hopefully all being able to join me. As I know a lot of us, life happens, life gets in the way, but we try to get together here whenever we can to rant about pop culture and other bullshit that's happening in the world while enjoying tasty beverages. So for tonight, I'll say good night. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you on Monday for Late to the Party news.